If you're loving this podcast, be sure to check out the full lineup. From news and local politics to sports and true crime. Find your next great listen right now at DuluthNewsTribune.com/podcasts. That's DuluthNewsTribune.com/podcasts.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Tuesday, June 4th. I'm Wyatt Buckner, the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now, here's today's headlines. The body of the second victim of a canoeing accident in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness was found Monday morning. The St. Louis County Sheriff's Office said the body of Reese Melvin Grams, 40 of Lionel Lakes, Minnesota, was discovered at about 10 a.m. Grams and canoeist Jesse Melvin Haugun, 41 of Cambridge, Minnesota, were canoeing in the area of Curtin Falls between Iron and Crooked Lakes when they disappeared May 18th. Two other members of the party were rescued. Haugun's body was recovered May 31st. The all-volunteer St. Louis County Sheriff's Office Rescue Squad was using airborne drones and remotely operated underwater vehicles in addition to divers, cadaver dogs, and other resources in the search along the Ontario border where Crooked Lake flows into Iron Lake, far from the nearest road or developed area. High, fast-moving water after recent rains hampered the search that involved dozens of personnel, boats, and aircraft. Part of the BWCAW has been closed to accommodate the search effort. Graham's body was flown from the scene to the Ely Seaplane Base. Most paddlers consider Curtin Falls too dangerous to attempt to paddle through, instead opting to use a land portage to carry canoes and gear around the falls. Several other incidents have happened at the site over the years. An 88-year-old driver who allegedly struck and critically injured an off-duty firefighter earlier this year has been found incompetent to stand trial. Ronald Gene Murdahl suffers from a, quote, major neurocognitive impairment, end quote, Chief Judge Leslie Byers wrote in an order indefinitely suspending criminal proceedings last week. Authorities said Murdahl, of Duluth, failed to stop after hitting Raymond Skoglund, who was jogging along Grand Avenue on the evening of January 25th. He reportedly did not have his headlights on and continued in his heavily damaged minivan to a grocery store. Skoglund, 24, was, quote, barely breathing, end quote, when he was rushed to a hospital, and his injuries included 2 broken legs, a fractured rib and cervical vertebrae, broken nose and jaw, and multiple minor brain bleeds. Murdahl is charged with a felony count of criminal vehicular operation. Byers ordered a mental health screening at his early March arraignment, based on concerns raised by an emergency guardian from St. Louis County Public Health and Human Services. A guardianship application filed by St. Luke's in early February indicates a doctor diagnosed Murdahl with profound dementia after he was charged and released from jail. The petition further states that, quote, all reversible causes have been treated and his condition will continue to progress, end quote. Murdahl had previously been brought to the hospital during a brief stay at the St. Louis County Jail, as he was dealing with breathing-related complications. He was reportedly disoriented at the time, believing he had come from home and that it was December 2024. The defendant has made his court appearances via Zoom from Duluth's Bayshore Residence and Rehabilitation Center, where he is said to be receiving a, quote, nursing home level of care, end quote. The case will remain suspended until Murdahl is deemed able to understand the proceedings, participate in his own defense, and rationally consult with counsel. There is no set timeline for that to occur, but updates must be provided to the court at least every 6 months. Assistant St. Louis County Attorney Tony Rubin filed a notice that he intends to prosecute the case if and when Murdahl regains competency, preventing the case from being automatically dismissed after 3 years. Skoglund, also a member of the Minnesota Air National Guard's 148th Fighter Wing, has made, quote, leaps and bounds in his recovery, end quote, according to his family. Sean Savala announced Monday he aims to unseat District 8B Representative Alicia Kozlowski, DFL Duluth, in November. He became the third candidate to enter the race and the first Republican joining Tim Meyer, who is running under the Forward Party of Minnesota banner. Candidates have until today to file, leaving little time for additional entrants. So far, the 8B House race has attracted 3 candidates to represent Eastern Duluth. The 8A House race to fill a post that will be left vacant by outgoing Representative Liz Olson, DFL Duluth, has drawn only 2 people to vie for the opportunity to represent Duluth's westernmost neighborhoods, Pete Johnson and Jordan Johnson, both DFLers. Savala, a 57-year-old resident of Duluth's Kenwood neighborhood, said he considers it important to break up the DFL's control of the House, Senate, and Governor's office, citing concerns over spending in state government. Savala said he hopes to reduce his constituents' tax burden and to remove some of the obstacles to develop in the region. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought from the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Duluth weather forecast for today. Showers and thunder showers likely during the day. Some of the storms could produce some heavy rainfall. High temperature this afternoon around 72 degrees. East winds about 5 to 10. Few higher gusts around thunder showers. Then for tonight, showers and thunderstorms during the evening, then becoming less numerous overnight. Heavy rainfall, the main concern. Temperatures falling into the lower 50s. Winds becoming westerly after midnight around 10 to 15. For Wednesday, slight chance of showers in the morning. Then showers, maybe a stray thunder shower becoming likely in the afternoon. All of that around a fairly sunny sky with high temperatures Wednesday in the lower 70s. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The bi-weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. The latest episode looks at how Jay Leno once poked fun at the News Tribune for censoring a movie ad in 1990. You can find that episode and others at DuluthNewsTribune.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by John Myers, Tom Olson, and Peter Passy. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.